It's time to make friends with your brain. I'm Laura Rhodes-Levin, licensed therapist and founder of the Missing Piece Center for Anxiety. It's true I'm a therapist, but more importantly, I struggled my whole life with terrifying anxiety. If anxiety is taking over your world, you're in the right place. Each week, we'll learn new tools that work for me and that I hope work for you too. Let's make friends with your brain. You deserve it. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of Missing Piece for Anxiety. We're going to be here every single week talking about anxiety and how to make anxiety your friend, how to become friends with your brain. It's important to know, first and foremost, that if you're struggling with anxiety is not what's wrong with you. It's what's right with you. Anxiety is a vital part of your survival mechanism. It's a part of our brain that's there to test and make sure that we're safe. So I want you to imagine you're a little child and you're playing in the meadow with your friends and you hear a rustle in the bush and you see a big fuzzy face and it eats your friend. And you just met a lion for the first time. That is going to go into your brain. It's going to be stored in your emotion center, in your limbic system. And it's supposed to stay there so that the next time you hear a rustle in the bush and you see the big fuzzy face, you run. But the more and more lions we encounter, the more and more our brains become overwhelmed. And in today's world, our brains are really being pushed to the max. I know we think we're so modern on our hoverboards and we're so advanced in technology, but our bodies have not caught up with technology and basically the lifestyle that we've designed for ourselves. I want to give you an example of our bodies. So it's not like we're out, hunting mammoth or climbing the steeps for lavender. So we actually have to simulate exercise. We have to create exercise that's not in our daily wake up and go to bed life so that our bodies can stay in tune and capable of living during our modern conveniences. Well, our brains are the opposite. Our brains are overwhelmed. I don't know if you know this, but when they first started putting people on trains, they were going at 10, 15 miles an hour, and people were getting terrible vertigo and passing out. And our brains have learned to adapt. But now when we're going 65 miles an hour on the freeway, that fight flight system is engaged. And if you don't think so, just wait till someone cuts into your lane unexpectedly and boom, you are reacting, you are on it. I get a lot of people, and I experienced it myself, that for a while I couldn't drive on the freeway where the wall was. It was just too much for me. And that was one of my first signs that my amygdala was getting overwhelmed. But it's important to understand, why is your heart racing? Why is your world getting smaller? Why do things that used to seem very easy seem hard? And what I find with a lot of my patients is they get scared. They get genuinely scared. What's wrong with me? And another example I like to use might be a little graphic, but if a woman got her menstrual cycle and she did not know what was happening to her, and she was just bleeding profusely and felt like crying and punching people, she would think she was dying. Every single month, she would rush herself to the emergency room. But now we know it's the gift of life. And so we just take an Advil and smile, and our friends grin and bear it, and it passes. So I want to help you understand that your anxiety will also pass. Your anxiety is not something that's putting you in any sort of danger. But if it's disrupting the way you live, the things that you're able to do, then that's the reason I am making this podcast. I'm able to help my clients and patients that come in every day to the center But I want to be able to help people who can't come in, who can't hear directly from our therapists. And so if you want tools for anxiety, tune in every week. That's what we're going to be doing. Some tools may work for you. Some tools may not. Try them all. Some might work at first and then not at other times. And you need to introduce new tools. But the most important thing to understand is that your anxiety is not what's wrong with you. It's what's right with you. So embrace it. And as I read on a bumper sticker somewhere, you can't control the wind, but you can learn how to sail. So let's together learn how to sail through your anxiety and make it work for you, not against you. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, mental health means right-sized feelings, all of them working together. Don't wait until your mental health is working against you. Stay ahead of your wellness and live in harmony with your brain. See you next week.